Hey everybody, Ethan and Hex here with our next video in the train to tree process. You are following along with the course. I hope that you have already found at the bottom, I'm going to plug this every time because it's a good thing to do. At the bottom, set up an appointment. Once a week, we will do a 15-minute call and I will help you with your sessions, keep you guided in the right path. And for this specific thing, it's important, okay? This is our transition to collar conditioning. We have held things. We have walked. Well, we've walked up and down the table. We've held lots of different things. We've held and walked with things. He's learned to fetch things, and that moved all the way through multiple objects into birds in the last video that we put out. All of that being said, we're ready to move to the collar conditioning phase. We need to have a good understanding of holding and fetching so that there's no confusion. We don't teach with the collar. We're going to reinforce something that he already knows, which is how to fetch, how to hold, okay? That transition is going to be overlaying collar pressure with the toe hitch pressure. This is not a more is better game. This is a low levels of pressure are going to start the conditioning process, and I'm going to show you exactly what that looks like today. Sometimes with dogs, this can happen. They get a pretty good understanding of it in just a few short sessions. Other times it may take a week or two. It's all dependent on your individual dog, their understanding and desire to work for things like that. So what we'll do here to get him started is toe hitch back on. Good boy. Just a pro tip along the way here. Always use the same foot. It's going to make the process easier, less confusion. Okay. So a couple warm-ups, fetch. Good, this is one of his favorite bumpers, good boy. And that is what we will use, fetch. Good boy, warmed up, okay? Cannot stress that enough. Few good reps, we move on. In this process, we're going to utilize whatever your dog likes the best. You'll have recognized they hold one better, they fetched one better, something that the dog likes, whether that's the small dowel or all the way up to a big canvas dummy. Whatever your dog likes, that's what we want to make this transition happen with. I just mentioned he likes this one. It's kind of middle of the road. Texture's nice. It's lightweight. It's easy work. But in this, the process will be, I have the collar set on a low level for him. That's going to be a 3 on this 1820 collar. It needs to be a low level, and the level itself is different for every dog. If your normal level that you need to utilize for recall or place training or something else that way, let's say is a 9. Well, let's go about half that to start this. So you'd be in the 5 range-ish. His normal level's probably in that zone, maybe more like 5, 6 range. So we're going to start with a 3. These are how you kind of figure out the numbers, and we will make adjustments. It won't be 3 forever. We will eventually utilize a little more pressure to say you need to do this now. It's no longer a question, but at this point, it is just conditioning reps. So how we do this is going to be hold your transmitter in your hand and your cord wrapped around that same hand. And you're going to be using the nick button. How we do the tugs here, it's going to be the same thing. Tug, nick at the same time. That's overlaying collar pressure with the toe hitch pressure. So looks like this. Fetch, light pressure here, light pressure here. Now sometimes the first time that they feel that, good, I gave him a little help. The first time that they feel that, it's a little distracting, like, ooh, too many things to think about. Fetch, good. Easy reps, we're not instantly moving to fetching off the table, just out of our hand. Good boy. Fetch. You can hear that clicking probably. Click, 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 click. That's how quick I'm using the nick button. The same as when I am tugging. Click, fetch, good. No. Fetch. Good. There you go. Fetch. Build momentum. Good. Movement helps. Fetch. Good. Come on. Fetch. Good boy. There you go. Fetch. Good. You're standing on it, son. Hold. Good. Here. There you go. Fetch. Good. Fetch. You can see I'm using less and less toe hitch pressure. It's still there, but it's less and less fetch. And in a few reps, fetch. That's pretty much all collar is all he's doing. Fetch, which means he understands what fetch means. And we have this as a backup if he tries to refuse or says, I don't want to pick that up. Good. Fetch. Fetch. Also, you can see here, I'm building separation. Fetch and dependence on my body. He turns to me. Fetch. Fetch. Good. Backed up a little bit. Fetch. Fetch. Come on. Fetch. Fetch. Good. Building that separation so he doesn't think it has to come from my hand. It's a big mistake that's easy to make, okay? We do so many reps with everything just out of our hand. We're gonna reset. We're gonna have to rebuild a little bit of momentum, but I want you to notice the pace. He's kind of a slower dog. He's low key, he's relaxed. If you watch Thunder stuff, or excuse me, Legend stuff, he's pretty upbeat in those other videos and fast pace and everything else. Lots of other dogs fall in that category. He falls in the category of, all right, fine, I will fetch it. And that's okay. But in order to really build progress, we need to speed him up. So quick reps, quick reps, quick reps. We're going to go ahead and do one more cycle and then we'll call this a session. Good. Fetch. Good. Fetch. Fetch. Good boy. Good boy. There you go. Come on. Fetch. Fetch. If you get too excited, good boy, and they start making mistakes, you got to tone it back a little bit. Fetch. 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 You can see that eyelet kind of pulls attention back that way. Fetch. Fetch. Come on. Come on. Fetch. It's right there. Fetch. Good boy. There you go. Fetch. 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 Good boy. Okay. And we have built some enthusiasm. Little tail is wagging. He's doing it. He's going that way, picking it up, coming back to me with it. These are building really good reps and we're having a decent time overall, okay? This is showing he is not collar conditioned to fetch, but we started that conditioning process. He's starting to respond pretty well just to the collar. Very minimal pressure here, but we've got it as a backup. That's what the transition session should look like. And this is definitely one that can go a lot of different directions. So if you can set up a call with me and plan on that collar conditioning session being here, and the next major one, if you're not going to do them every week, would be when we proof the collar. We're going to continue repping this. We'll work through his favorite bumper. We'll work through other bumpers, moving more into reliance on the collar, less reliance here. And I will show you another transition. What's probably actually going to happen is now that he's started this transition to collar work, it's basically hunting season. I didn't do a good enough job planning out my schedule, and that's life, folks. So I will probably shoot 1 or 2 videos on the road showing how we're going to continue a little bit of this collar conditioning work on the tailgate. And then from there, we will be able to wrap everything up in the next few weeks. He will be done. Then we'll hunt for the whole season and have a blast. Thanks guys for tuning in so far. We'll keep you posted on Hex's progress. Definitely reach out if you've got questions. We'll see you in the next video.